Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, Sampler video series videos I've been doing for the while. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I had intended to review these before Halloween. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. Super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It's my Above Snake shirt. Which, if you are not familiar, Above Snakes, they are a band of sort of the, what I like to refer to as sort of like the nu metal revival, you know, sort of new metal bands kind of sort of coming into things. If you're not familiar with nu metal, well, chances are you're either quite a bit older or quite a bit younger than I am. But nu metal was a contentious brand of metal that sprung out in the late 90s, early 2000s, kind of mid 90s, you know, sort of where it got its start, but then it really kind of broke through in the late 90s to early 2000s. Definitely still has a lot of people who aren't fans of it, but thankfully for people like me who grew up with it, we are seeing some really awesome bands that are, you know, starting to come up with it, and Above Snakes definitely qualifies. I got to see them perform live just a few days ago at the time I'm doing this, a little less than a week, and they were just super fucking cool on stage, really nice guys. I bought some merch. I got some videos of their show. They're on this channel, just in case you're interested. That's it. What am I reviewing for you folks? What are we doing here today? Why did I mean to do it? Boom! It's Halloween Ghost Dots. Yeah, very clearly. Can we get a thing? Ha 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 ha. Very clearly, these were intended to be eaten on or around Halloween. It is now a few days into November, so yeah, kind of fucked up. I bought them, and I went over there, and apparently they're from Tootsie. I didn't know that. I bought them. I put them up in my cabinet of many things to review, and I just spaced on them. Apparently, they're a mystery flavor. Which flavor? Which ghost? It's a mystery. Strawberry, lemon, lime, cherry, orange. Oh, so I guess they're not a mystery flavor. It's just that they're like without the coloring. So they're... Oh, that's a little less interesting. Oh, what the hell? I haven't had Dots in fucking forever, man. Dots are one of those like 1800 candies where it's like, I mean, they're still pretty good from what I remember, but they're definitely like an old people candy at this point. But, you know, I mean, fuck it, man. I'll go with them. Tootsie Rolls, Dots, Milk Duds, hell, even Snow Caps. I'll go into them every now and again. So let's open it up. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, see, I thought it was a mystery flavor, and I was going to try to guess the flavor and be wrong, but I guess it's just... Ooh, it's a little ghost. It's not really... I'm sad that they didn't have the faces on them. I feel like that's a thing they could have accomplished. Whatever. Let's find out what flavor this one is. I'm going to go with lime. I think it's lime. Pretty sure it's lime. Alright. Let's find out this one. Maybe orange or lemon? I'll say this, it's harder to tell without the coloring, for sure. I mean, again, what with the nature of the review being different than what I thought, it's like, what do they taste like? They taste like dots. They're just differently colored dots. If they glow in the dark, I probably shouldn't eat them, but I kind of want them to glow in the dark. I mean, they're fine. They're dots. It's just, again, they just don't have the coloring on them, which I guess is a little bit of like a thing, but it's like, yeah, it's a little lame as a thing. But again, Halloween tie-in. if you've never had dots because maybe you were born before the 1940s or born after the 1940s, they're like these little jelly candies. They're perfectly okay. They're fruit flavored. The consistency on them is nice. They got a little firmness to them. They got a little bite, when you bite into them. I think that one was a cherry, maybe. And they're lightly fruit flavored. They're better when you're younger. I will say that. Dots are something that when I was a kid, I could get down with a little bit. They were never my favorite thing to eat, but they were okay. Now that I'm older, it's just kind of like, well, they're fine. They're not bad, but, for one thing, I got a bunch of fillings and shit in my teeth now. Wonder why. So it's a little bit harder to eat these things. But then on top, I have to kind of be precise in where I bite them. But even beyond that, though, honestly, the flavor is just not that distinct. It's not that forceful. Each flavor definitely is distinct in and of itself. But, I don't know, I guess as a kid I remember them tasting, having more oomph to their taste. They really don't. They're pretty mild in their overall. Orange. Definitely orange. I mean, and I will say this. The flavors themselves, even if they're not particularly punchy, they're there. And they're pretty easy to discern for the most part. Some of them blend a little bit together. Lemon and lime, what have you. But, yeah, I mean, they're perfectly okay. That's really about all you can say about it. They're fine. Which one are you? I'm gonna go with lemon. Yeah, they're okay. There's not a lot to say, honestly. Because again, I was expecting them to be like a mystery flavor, and that was what I was going to build off of. They're just dots. If you've ever had dots before, they taste like normal dots. If you've never had dots before, you don't need to try dots, honestly. They're one of those candies where, they just hang around, I think, more for nostalgia's sake than really demand. I'm sure there's people who like them, and I'm not trying to shit on anybody else's taste. But they're not that great, honestly. They're okay at best. But there's way better, fruit candies out there, Starbursts and stuff. They're, going to give you a lot better oomph of flavor than these do. But they're fine. I don't mind that they exist. I'm a little bit annoyed that I got bamboozled because I didn't read the packaging properly. But that's more on me. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? No, and I mean, kind of, I guess. I don't think I've bought dots outside of these maybe ever in my life. And that's not entirely hyperbole. I don't ever remember buying dots. I'm not saying I never have. It's possible when I was a little kid or something like that, I might have bought an occasional box of dots from the corner store or some shit. It's possible. But I don't remember ever doing so. And I do actually remember, certain candies that I would pick up at the time. Milky Ways were a big thing for me and my grandpa when I was a kid. When Ring Pops came out, that was a big deal. Push Pops were another one. Plenty of stuff that, it stuck in my head. If I ever bought dots, it sure as hell didn't last. It didn't leave anything there. So for me, I wouldn't get dots again. Maybe if they come out with, some wacky new flavors or they revamp the recipe or something, maybe I'll do something like that. But and if I'm recommending them to people, it's you don't need dots. Just get some Starbursts or something. If you if you like dots, you'll like these because they're just dots. They're just, they look a little bit like Pac-Man Ghost, but without the personality and without the faces, which is just so lame. If they'd had the faces, I would have given them an extra point, but anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Spend this rest of your folks, you go over there, have yourselves a truly Milk Duds-tastic rest of your life. Because you know what? Milk Duds are an old candy that still kicks some ass. Dots? No, that's not fair. Dots are okay, but they're not that great. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Excuse me. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. It can be a pain in the ass, man. Life can be really frustrating. It can, and I'll be the first person to admit, I'm the type of person where, I have ups and downs, man. I have some days where I'm doing good, and then by the end of the day, I'm not doing as good. And that shit happens, man. Just life can really kind of kick the shit out of you sometimes. Even if it's not trying to. Sometimes it just wears you down a little bit. It's important, though, when we run into those situations in our lives, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully you do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to get yourself some spooky ghost dots, as I've done here today. And maybe like me, you're going to be like, wow, these are just okay at best. And that's me being a little bit generous. So maybe you go over there and you go to the Tootsie people. And I imagine in order to get to them, you have to go over there and take like 3 steam trains and an autogyro. Because there's no way that they don't fucking live on some sort of weird steampunky island at this point. Because that has to be where the fuck they manufacture this stuff. So then you go over there and you talk to them, and, they've got all like the quirky steampunk old-timey stuff, top hats and monocles and clockwork robots and the whole thing. And it's fun for a little while, but like after a little while, you're like, yeah, you know what, I'd like to just wear some jeans. And not have to always have a hat on. So maybe we could make dots taste a little bit better, and then you get thrown the fuck off the island. And you're never gonna find it again. They're gonna move it. It's gonna get up on mechanical crab legs and walk away, and you'll never find it again. Or conversely, you could just go watch the movie Wild Wild West with Will Smith from the late 90s or early 2000s. I forget. I like that movie more than a lot of people do. I think it's fun. I like the crab leg spider monster. Anyway, bye.